All right, welcome everybody. My name is James Schlimmer, CEO of Efizbo from sunny Southwest Florida. You can see the sun is gushing through my office window. The Fed has decided this week, 2 days ago, to lower the Fed rate by 50 basis points. How does this affect real estate, specifically in Naples, Florida? I'm going to touch on Naples as a whole. I'm going to touch on 34103, which is where our office is. I'm going to touch on 34119. So if you're in those two zip codes, this is for you. Why does it matter? Number one, when the Fed rate is going to go down, we should see it fall between 4.75% and 5.0%. Why is this important? Fed rate affects the bond rates, which affect the 30-year mortgage rates. If mortgage rates are high, less buyers in the market. So today, as we are recording, we are at 30-year fixed is at 6.09, which is down from 6.2. The high in May was right about 7.2%. Obviously, last year we saw in the 8s. But I think this is going to be a good thing to get some stuff happening. So before we dive into it, we got to be able to go take a look at some of the numbers here. So I want to head over to Naples as a whole. You should see your screen should change in just a second. We are going to be over here and we're going to look at inventory numbers. Now, I'm looking at the last 5 years of information here so we can see, and you can actually see where the trends are. And 2024 is the black line right in here. And you can see we are sitting above 2020 numbers. We are still below 2019 numbers and counting, but our 2024 inventory is about 1809 for all of Naples, Florida. Median price in Naples right now, as we look here, is $995,000 in Naples, Florida. Naples is a very expensive place to live. I think the median price within the country is about $445, but in Naples is about $995. You can see comparatively to the last 5 years that has come down, but it is still well above 2019. It's still well above 2020, 21. We're in a not a bad spot when it comes to price. If we make our way to median days on the market, now here, this is going to look like spaghetti here, but I wanted to be able to give you guys some perspective going back almost 10 full years. And if we were to look, you can see kind of right in this black line, right in the center, you can see kind of where we're at. So it's not the worst it's been, it's not the best it's been, but we're sitting about 100 plus days, days on market. Before median days on market, before things are selling. So, I mean, in some cases it was down less than 50, but if you're here at about 100 days, you're gonna put your home on the market, expect it to be there for almost 3 full months or just a little bit more than that, okay? Now, if we come down here, I wanna be able to show the percent of listings. This is huge. The percent of listings that are decreasing their price. There's no question sellers had this COVID mindset that their homes were worth more, and guess what? That world is over. We have some listings that have been on Efizbo for quite a bit because the seller's price is just too high. So what does that mean? It means right now you can take a look and you can see that in let's see if I can find it here. We're sitting at just about 40% of active listings in the Naples market are seeing price reductions. You could see here that is, in some cases, it went up about 50% in the summertime. I mean, we are seeing more price reductions than we have in a long, long time. Now, it's not quite of where it was in 2022, but it's still happening. So just be prepared for that. Okay, now, what I want to be able to do is dive into 34119, which is where I live. And I want to be able to take a look. You can see the median list price there is about 1.19 million. You can see that we are looking at days on market, average 131, median 119 days on the market. So again, almost 4 full months that your home will be on the market before you go pending. Price decreases, about 45% in that zip code of homes are seeing price decreases right now. And when it comes to inventory, you can see there's about 190 homes that are currently on the market. If you go back a week, you can see kind of, it was maybe May 31st, 275, now it's about 190. If we move over to 34103, where our office is, $3 million is the median list price. Now again, we are in a zip code that's right up on the Gulf of Mexico. So you have the beachfront properties, slightly skewed here if you're on 34103. East of 41 is going to be a little bit different than west of 41, as you know. Days on market, you could see either 202 for average or 147 for the median days. You can see we have price decreases of 28%, inventory 89, which is relatively low from back in May, 111 down to 89. So this is not the first time that we have seen 50 basis point Fed rate cuts. 50 basis point is significant, by the way. That is a significant rate cut. I'm gonna have a little cup of coffee from my Efizbo cup. It's not the first time we've seen this. So if your screen should change, you'll see a headline here, October the 29th, 2008. This is the 2000 financial crisis. The Fed dropped the Fed rate by 50 basis points. Now, what I've been doing is I've been tracking deeds recorded in Collier County since January of 1982. I know, call me a dork, but I got it every single month. So I'm interested in seeing how the Fed rate decrease, how does that ultimately affect pendings? How does that ultimately affect deeds recorded, which I would call property sales, right, for on the MLS and off the MLS? Take a look. If we look at the pendings for 2024 in Naples, there's about 410 this week, 404 this week. It was 410 the previous week. You can see we are below 2022 and 2023 with those numbers. The peak, we saw was right around in May, but what does it look like? And we're going to talk about what does it look like with the Fed rate coming down, mortgage rates coming down, what can we expect, and what does that mean with these pendings? Because that means there's more buyers, we should be getting under contract. I think there's good news as we head into the fourth quarter, and then obviously real estate season here in Southwest Florida. So I want to be able to head over here. Now your screen should change. You're going to see the headline of the article from October the 29th, 50 basis point cut. You should see that the mortgage rates, the mortgage rates did go down once that from 6.46, it did go down to 5.53, and eventually it hit 5.1 in March. So the Fed lowered 50 basis points in late October. It took till March for the interest rate to go from 6.46 down to 5.1. That's some perspective for you. Deeds recorded in Collier County at that time, they increased. Obviously, they're going to increase in the fourth quarter, and you start getting into the first quarter of the following year because that's when we start seeing real estate season. So I don't know if there's really much to report on there. But I think the big thing is that if the Fed makes an announcement, it does take a little bit of time for the rates to get to where they're supposed to be, and then inevitably it keeps getting a little bit lower, which is good news over what would be 6 months. So the next time, November the 6th, 2001, this was the dot-com bubble. The Fed lowered rates by 50 basis points. We went from 7.13% 30-year mortgage rates down to 6.79. And by January, so only 3 short months away, 6.55%. What they say is that a 1% decrease will increase buyers in the market by 10 to 15%. So if we're looking at these pendings, and we can see that we have pending sales, 404 was the last weekly number here in Naples, Florida, what can we expect? And I believe what we can expect is the following. So we should expect in October, I bet you we're going to see anywhere from about 1,700 to 1,900 pending contracts. November, we should see 1,800 to 1,900. December, 1,900 to 2,000. January, 2,000 to 2,200. February, 2,100 to 2,300. March, 2,200 to 2,400, which does fall in line with when you see deeds recorded. Now, usually with pending sales, anywhere from 15 to 20% of those cancel for inspection issues or whatnot. But you can see we are going to be getting into what I would call a regular market here for Southwest Florida based on these rates going down. If you like this market update and you're interested in learning how to sell your home a brand new way from listing to close where you can save 5%, I urge you and I want you to come to our live workshop here at our office where I'm happy to show you the new way to sell with Efizbo. So feel free to scroll right down. You'll see it on your screen now. Scroll down, register your spot. The team would love to meet you. We're happy to walk you through, answer your questions, how we can take you from listing all the way through closing, signing the deed, listing, contract, everything is there. It's a groundbreaking way to sell your home. Look forward to seeing you. Have a wonderful day.